Hey guys, DJ Gunner258 here, and today I am going to be bringing you a video going over my AR-15 pistol. And I gotta apologize guys, this video is way overdue. I've had this pistol for a long time. I built it back in late December, and the only video you guys have seen on them has been my build video where I assemble it and a time-lapse type thing. By the way, if you're wanting to know any of the specific details of every single part I used to build this, along with the pricing and where I got it, I think most of them have links in the description of that video where I assemble it via the time lapse. So go check that out if you have any specific questions as to what is exactly in this AR-15 pistol. And then I also had a how to build a AR-15 on the cheap, which if you guys are wanting to have good deals or find good deals for the pieces you were going to buy anyway, totally go check out that video. Anyway, self-promotion or plugging aside, I've had this pistol for a while, but I haven't been able to make a video on it because I've been at school. I had my first semester of college, and I've been doing ROTC, and between ROTC and school, I just haven't had time to make many videos. So my apologies aside, let's get into this video. Now, I first test fired the the pistol, back when I was at school. And I was actually kind of freaked out because I hadn't had time to go out and test fire it before I left. So it was actually a couple weeks before I actually got to fire it after I built it. Anyway, this happened. Basically, I fired the first round and then I had a malfunction, which made me super nervous. But thankfully, it was just a complete fluke. I actually have the round that malfunctioned in my hands right here. And basically, it was just a fluke. I fired the first round, and this round just happened to be a dud, and it just fell inside of the casing, and no big deal. The rifle from then on ran flawlessly. By the way, for those of you guys who were wondering, this ammunition was ZQI ammunition, 62 grain, I believe, and I haven't had any failure since, so it was just a complete fluke, and I actually found it pretty hilarious. After that, it ran pretty dang well. I had no flaws until about the third time. It wasn't the second, it was the third time I went firing. I had about 150 rounds through it so far, and I don't know why I have a problem with this, but it always happens to me, and my gas block moved forward again. If you guys aren't familiar, back with my 18-inch SPR length rifle, I had the same problem where about the second or third time I shot it, and the gas block just slid forward and made it so it stopped cycling. For those of you guys who have been paying attention with my other video, that how to get a good deal on the AR-15 or whatever I titled that video, in this system I have a $10 gas tube and gas block that I got from Amazon. So I guess some of you guys are going to be wondering, did it fail? No, it didn't fail. It was just me not historically not tightening the gas block up enough. So basically, I just went back, really cranked it down, and then I was able to fire it no problem, and I haven't had any problems since. And if that keeps on happening, what I can do is, people have suggested that I take a Dremel tool or a drill press anyway, definitely not a Dremel tool, a drill press, and make a little indentation in the bottom of the barrel for the screw to sit in, and that will definitely make sure it's not going anywhere. However, I really cranked it down this time, Loctited it, and it is not going to be going anywhere. That being said, and to no fault of the gas block itself, I am going to probably be replacing it, and that is just going to be because I am thinking about getting an adjustable gas block. One of the main reasons I am thinking about doing that is because of the bolt carrier I have in this pistol right here, which, as you guys know, I have a video out on it. It is the AIM Surplus bolt carrier. Let me see if I can get a good shot for you guys of it right here. It is the AIM Surplus bolt carrier right there. Anyway, you can see it. Go check out my review if you want a better look at it. And it is a lightweight bolt carrier. And at the time, I didn't know this. I was just buying it because it was lightweight, and I was trying to make a lightweight pistol build, as you can see from the lightweight rail, the lightweight lower receiver, which I know doesn't cut down on that much weight. But I really was trying to make it the lightest thing possible. Also, I really love the design of the Battle Arms Development lower receiver. Um, and I went with a lightweight bolt carrier group. Side note, by the way, this rifle ended up coming around at 6.5 pounds, which is pretty good for a lightweight AR-15. Anyway, back to the bolt carrier group. What I didn't realize was that another huge reason to have a lightweight bolt carrier group, and this ties back into the gas block, was because you can significantly reduce the wear on your rifle and the recoil. So basically what you do is I say basically way too much. Anyway, it lightens, because you have less weight here, you can cycle the action with less gas. So you can really tighten down that gas block and allow very little gases to go back here, and it will still cycle because you've reduced a lot of the weight in the main moving component of the firearm, which reduces the recoil and the wear because you're not blowing a bunch of excess gas back here. So that's another huge reason to have that, and I think I'm going to be doing that because I'm not taking full advantage of my system that I could be. So that's the main reason I'm going to be replacing that. Secondly, the thing that I hated, love, and then I'm still going to replace, which just happened with that gas block, is going to be the optic. Basically, first off, I started off with this $25 or like $30 red dot sight on Amazon. Utter trash. I should have listened to the reviews, guys. I thought there was like some good reviews, but then there was just as equally amount of bad reviews, and I got it. It ended up being garbage. It was terrible. The quick attach mount, it was super sloppy. It didn't hold zero because that was sloppy, and it ended up falling off while I was firing, hitting the ground, and then breaking. So now it only turns on when it's in the half dial. Actually, I think, do I have it right here? Oh my gosh, I do have it right here. If you guys see this on Amazon, definitely do not pick it up. It is a terrible sight. And now it's on, let's see, if it's on the 2 position right there, there's nothing in there. But if it's halfway in between, that's only when you get the red dot to show up and it's out of focus. So you won't be able to see it, but it's only works halfway between now. Anyway, don't pick up that red dot sight. Moral of the story. Instead, pick up this red dot sight. This is the Ozark Armament red dot sight, and I think it was $20 more. It was a total of $40 with prime shipping, and it has been awesome. It's probably on the level of a Vortex, or it's not, I can't attest to it being on the level of a Vortex Strike Fire, if I can speak correctly. But it has served me extremely well. It holds zero. It does its job. It looks like a aim point, and it's red and green illuminated, and I love it. It's $40, great value, way better value than the Vortex Strike Fire, and it does its job. However, I'm still going to be replacing it. And that's just because I might want to use this for some varmint hunting applications. I've really started to miss the magnification that is on my full-length AR-15. So I'm going to be replacing that with maybe a 1.5 to 4 times power or 2 to 4 power. I'm not really sure. If you guys have any suggestions as some good, extremely low power glass options, let me know because I'm still looking for those. But yeah, that's why I'm changing that. However, if you're going to be using this as a home defense AR-15 pistol, I would definitely still stick with the red dot sight. I just miss having that opportunity to have magnification if I'm going to be shooting at something at 100 yards. I know a lot of people just say all you need to hit is body size targets at 100 yards, but I really like being able to dial it in and hit that 3-inch area at 100 yards, if not more, but probably more expecting like a 3-inch with a AR-15 pistol at 100 yards. But that's the main reason I want a higher magnification optic. Again, if you're going to be using it for home defense, dude, stick with the red dot sight. That you're not going to get anything better than that. Finally, I'm going to be going over this arm brace that I have, which I am loving the heck out of. This is the Shockwave arm brace and the KAK pistol buffer tube. And this is basically the reason I got a AR-15 pistol, is because I saw this. I had seen the Sig Brace, and that had piqued my interest a lot more. But this thing is really what did it for me, and after having handled both of them, I can definitely say this is a much better product than the SB15. It's also a lot cheaper and a lot lighter. It's going to be so much lighter. You'll have to look up the weight. I can't name it off the top of my head, but it is significantly lighter than the SB15. It's also a lot more firm. Basically, the SB15 or SBX, whichever one, is made out of rubberized material, and it's kind of squishy, and it's also flimsy, and it can rotate on the tube. This eliminates all of those because it's made out of a hard polymer. Now that does reduce some of the comfort because it's not going to be squishy with recoil up against your arm or other places of your body. I don't know, shoot it off your private parts. No, but it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable because it's hard polymer. Basically, that makes up for it though, or this brace makes up for it though, because it is going to be a lot more rigid and it's going to be a lot less floppy. It's also not going to rotate side to side because it uses a specific design that the SB15 doesn't have, and that is a Allen key which tightens onto the buffer tube of the pistol. And with the K&K pistol buffer tube, it has little divots in the bottom for that Allen key screw to sit in, and it just locks it down. So it's also adjustable. If you have a different size forearm, it's going to fit you no problem because it can go in or it can go out. So that's one of the main reasons I picked this up. It's also going to be a lot cheaper. I think the SBX or SB15, I think it was around 125, and that was just the rubberness. It's not even including the pistol buffer tube. This is the pistol buffer tube and the not the SB15, and the shockwave brace, and I believe I got it for around $90 or so. So it's going to be a lot better deal. I definitely recommend, if you're getting an AR-15 pistol and you want a stabilizing pistol brace or arm brace, I would go with this over the SB15 or SBX any day. So that being said, I said it was going to be the final piece that I was going to touch up on, but it's not. I'm also going to point out that I attached a awesome little flashlight. I got this for it was like $5 on Amazon, and it is a pretty bright little flashlight. It's a lot brighter than a lot of the other ones I've used. I'll probably replace it eventually, but for now it does the job. If you're going to have a home defense style or go to war rifle style platform, definitely make sure you have a flashlight on it, because whether the bump is in the day or the night, you're going to want to go check it out and have illumination. So make sure you have illumination. I have this little offset 1-inch scope ring, offset scope ring mount anyway. And I just wrapped the flashlight in some electrical tape to make sure it fit properly. Again, what I also want to go over is, lastly, the trigger. I have the PSA Defender lower parts kit in here, and it has a nickel coated trigger, which in my experience, compared to my other AR-15, it is a lot nicer feeling than a standard mil-spec trigger with that nickel boron coating. Also, I have in here is here, let me talk about this. It is the Nick Taylor 00 trigger kit, which is a video, or I saw it from a video the late Boy Scout did. It's on a $30 or I think $15, I can't remember. I bought 2 of them, and I think it was $40 for both of them, so I guess $15. And it is a trigger kit. Basically what it includes, it is a lighter trigger spring, and I've always been kind of iffy on that. I'm testing them out myself right now, as I've been worried about light primer strikes if you reduce the hammer spring weight, but I haven't had any so far, so maybe they're good. But it includes that, and then what I thought was crazy awesome was a little screw that goes in. I mean, it replaces your pistol grip screw that connects to your receiver, but then it goes through the receiver and puts pressure this way on the trigger, and it kind of pre-pulls the trigger, if you can imagine what I'm saying, and it reduces the take-up. I have it set so that this thing just breaks immediately. There's no take-up. It reduces all the take-up. So I'm very excited with that product so far. It's made this trigger feel a million times better, and as well as my other trigger on my SPR AR-15, and it's made it feel so much better. So I definitely recommend trying it out if you're in the market for that, and it's only $30 more. You might as well try it, and it's going to, and if it's good enough for you, it potentially saved you like $180 because the other drop-in trigger packs cost like $200. That's pretty much it. I've been digging these short style 10 round magazines, although I'll probably end up getting a 20 round magazine. I just like the lower profile design with the AR-15 pistol. It's mostly a aesthetic second kind of cool thing for me. But anyway, that was my video on my AR-15 pistol. If you guys have any suggestions as to what low power optic I should go with for the future, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you just want to call me names, go ahead and call me names on the comments. I'll take them all. Anyway, that has been my video, and I will see you guys later.